Morning.
Morning.
Yeah, it's Christmas. This is like Christmas Day.
Ooh, it's pretty chilly for me out here, but gotta enjoy. It's good baseball weather actually right now.
What'd you say to the team as you get ready for this 2025 campaign?
I got a lot of veterans in there, so just keep playing their game, do what they've been doing the last, their whole career, and come out and enjoy a good, nice field, nice atmosphere, and see what happens.
What's your take on this team? What are the strengths?
I think I got a lot of veterans. We got more coming. I think we're going to be able to hit the ball a little bit. Our starting five, got some familiar faces in the last couple of years. Bryce Elder, and Waldrop. But I think overall we're going to be a pretty positive team all around. It should be fun to watch. I hope we hit a lot of home runs. That's what people come to watch, is home runs and strikeouts. So I think we might have a lot of those this year.
How young are you?
39.
So Jesse Chavez is a few years older than you?
Jesse Chavez, he's going to be the second guy I managed that's older than me. Last year at Yulee, me and Chavi we go way back from 2010. We were actually roommates in the big leagues for 2 years. So me and him got a lot of history, so it's good. It's good fun to have him.
Does it boggle your mind that he's still playing at this age, at this date?
Yeah, we had some dinner yesterday, and I was debating about bringing a cane and, some Metamucil and stuff like that for him. But, I didn't do it. I just joke with him about being an old man, and he's going to have to be the godfather out here for these kids. So, it'd be good to have him around for these younger kids. We don't have many of them, but we have a few, and having Jesse around will be helpful.
Why do you think he still does this?
He loves the game, and he's still getting people out. I mean, if I could still get people out at 41, I'd probably still be playing too. But props to him, and I hope he has a good year and goes back to the big leagues.
What's your advice to the guys who just had the taste of big league ball, all that goes with it, to now coming here but keeping those dreams alive and working every day to get better and get to the show?
Well, you got to stay where your feet are right now, right? You're in AAA, you're trying to get to the big leagues. Do what you can do here to get to the big leagues. Don't think about being in the big leagues, because sometimes that guys end up struggling a little bit, and then dig yourself a deeper hole. If you can at least play where your feet are, play successful, you're going to get to the big leagues.
How do you guys kind of do that balance of trying to, make sure the guys are working on things to get better while also still trying to actually succeed on the field? How do you guys find that balance?
Well, the game's usually at 7 o'clock, so the guys will be here around 1, and we start working on things around that time. And then when the lights turn on, do what they got to do until they feel comfortable with the adjustment, that they've been working on previously to that day. And if they don't feel comfortable, then we got to go work on something else to try to get them comfortable. It's all about being comfortable here. When you're comfortable, you play well. You have fun, and you produce.
You take experimentation into account. Let's say they're struggling at the plate, but you know that they're working on something new. Is that something that y'all?
Yeah, I mean, if they're working on something and they take it to the game or to in the game, I don't really dock them. They're still trying to work on something. It ain't gonna click, in one day. It might click in 2 months, and that's the tough part about this game. Right now it's about results. I think back in the day, you could work on something throughout the season and not be penalized. But I think how the game is nowadays, it's very resultful. So people want to see results in the snap of a finger, and it might not happen. But for us, I think the guys that are working on something, I think they're smart enough and old enough here where they won't take it into the game until they feel comfortable to.
What are 1 or 2 things that Bryce needs to work on to improve on to get to consistently be with the big league ball club?
I think Bryce is finally healthy, and his last outing was very, very great. He threw 93, 95. I think last year his velo was down a little bit, so I think if he keeps that velo up and continues to do what he does, pound the zone, get contact, ground balls, he'll be back in the big leagues in no time.
You mentioned some of the big hitters you have on this squad. Is there 1 or 2 guys that the fans out there in Gwinnett coming out to watch the Striper should pay attention to?
Well, you want to catch a home run, I'd probably watch Garrett Cooper. He's a big fella. I call him Juggernaut. He's a big dude. He's very strong. He'll be produceful. And the other power guy we got is probably... Sorry, I'm trying to think of my roster.
All right. We got Connor.
Oh, Charles.
Luke Chuck.
Charles LeBlanc. Charles LeBlanc will be another guy. Probably put the ball, over the fence quite often. So, older team should be fun. We'll see what happens.
You kind of mentioned how many veterans are on this team. In your experience here, having played here with a pretty veteran group at that point, and manage that, is this one of the more veteran groups that you've had, and does it make it a little easier to kind of manage the clubhouse?
No. This is probably the most veteran group I've had. It don't make it easy. It makes it harder. You got 28 players, and you got to try to please them all, you know, and give them all the same amount of playing time. It's hard, and you know, that's probably why I got a lot of gray hairs on my face. To be honest, it's a hard decision. It's tough to, you know, I got to see these guys every day.
Right.
You know, I tell them, hey, you're only gonna play 3-4 times a week. They're used to playing every day,
Right.
and you know, just communicate with them, and so far they've been good. They've been good about it, so we'll see.
How important is your role as a psychologist, let alone a baseball guru, just to keep them mentally in check and check their egos at the door when they're used to, you know, tasting success at the big league level?
Yeah, man, you know, that's the toughest part, especially here. Most of these guys had success at one point. You know, I got big league all-stars on this team, and they're not there. I mean, mental part of the game is the best part, the hardest part to get to. And you know, if we can capture the mental part of it, my whole part is try to keep them loose and have fun, not really think about what they were before, and usually, you know, it'll happen.
You tell them to check their egos and when they come into the clubhouse?
Not in those words, but yeah, in more words that they'll understand, a little bit more vocal, but yeah, exactly.
Talk about the excitement of seeing fans in the stands, and why would you encourage people here in Gwinnett to come out and watch your team?
I mean, you just look at the field; it's beautiful. When I played here, none of this was out here. You know, we had no apartments behind the walls. I mean, the field is probably the nicest field we're going to play on all season here. You know, they do a great job. The atmosphere is great. We got to have a great team. You know, I hope the fans show up. You know, since I've been playing here, I've been hoping the fans would show up and just pack it out. And we tend to play better when there's people in the seats. You know, that's kind of how it is.
You said Cody's the guy we got to watch out to? For
Charles LeBlanc.
Charles LeBlanc.
Chuck.
Hey, going back again to you mentioned about a lot of power on this team here. I think you were still around as a player when that year that they had like Duvall and Riley was coming up here. They had a lot of bombs that year.
They
Is there
did.
Any comparison?
They
to...
did. You know, I don't know. We have the possibility of being around that many homers. I mean, that's a lot of home runs that year. I know they broke the record, I think, here. We will see. I know we will see some balls over the fence a lot more than we did last year. I think last year we didn't really have a power team, but I think this year we kind of have more of a power team than a speedster team like we did last year.
I know Verdugo and Craig are not here. They eventually will be here. What does that add to your team, and you know, the experience and knowledge, but also the pressure of them wanting to make an impression and get back?
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's more gray hairs again for me when those two show up. But you know, they're two veterans that were in the big leagues last year. Been in the big leagues for a while, especially Verdugo and Kimbrel. Kimbrel's been a staple for a long time. So, you know, for me, just kind of keep him healthy and available to get to the big leagues. Verdugo is just more of getting him reps to get up to speed, and then, you know, hopefully he gets back to the big leagues sooner than later. And I think that's just the game plan right now.
What's your overall view of your pitching staff?
I think we got a good okay pitching staff. I mean, we're going to fill up the zone. It's a whole different staff than we had recently. You know, we only got a couple guys returning, but a whole new bullpen, pretty much. So we got a little bit harder throwers than we have in the past, which is going to be fun for me. Fun to watch, and it should be some electric stuff coming out of the bullpen.
I apologize for the ignorance, but are there different rules in terms of the catcher, strike zone, umpire stuff that you guys are going to be using?
I think everything's the same. I think the only rule is the double play in the second base, you can't keep running. I think that's the only new rule that we got this year. Everything else is the same.
Kind of a bittersweet moment, but the way your face not behind the dish and Trumpy when he didn't get shot, like, just how valuable was he down here working with those guys who were trying to get to that next level? And this year he's start up there.
Yeah, no, it's awesome to see Trumpy starting big leagues. I mean, he was great for us. Between him and Sandy, you know, Sandy was a big help for Trumpy as well. You know, Sandy taught him some stuff, and then for those two guys to be able to control the pitching and be, you know, kind of the clubhouse gentleman and keep everything in charge is actually good for me. So, you know, I'm proud of Trumpy and happy for him, and hopefully he stays there for a while.
When you talk to other managers around AAA, is there anything unique about how the Braves organization runs things compared to maybe other?
You know, every organization's got their different theories on things, you know, so I don't really talk to the other managers about their theories and whatnot. You know, I watch what they do on the field before games. You know, we all do different things. They're all infield mindset's different than ours. You know, positioning's all different, so it's all a little different all around. So I don't really ask them anything particular on why they do this or why they do that. You know, we got our set ways of doing our things, and they got theirs. We'll just leave it at that.
Anything you're looking for from Hurston?
I mean, I hope he fills it up this year. You know, he throws a lot more strikes. He was really good in spring training. I got to see his last start. That's probably the best I've seen him so far since we've got him. So that's positive, and I'm excited. It's gonna be exciting this year for him.
Go get the cane. You guys good?
Yeah, appreciate it, dog. Thank you guys.